This green on the top signifies an unfinished auction on the top. The red dot on the bottom signifies an unfinished auction on the bottom. These red lines on the bottom are pivots. It's price turned. Blue on the top is where price turned on the top. These red lines here that you see coming down, this is telling me where we look to finish our auction, okay? Meaning reversal. I'm looking for reversals at those levels. Green is giving me support, and it lines up exactly with the profile. So we have lowering overhead resistance, price is coming down, and we have support right down here around 10. The other thing that I like about this, and I like it a lot, I will get green and or red flashes, which will signify a flush of buyers or sellers. So when I see a red box come in, it's supply and demand. When I see red, I know that there's a ton of supply overhead. When I see green, I know that there is demand. Now, I'm still looking to sell crude if it gets back up to 29. If it does, this bar is at 30, I still want to sell 29. Or I'm looking for maybe a long down here at this notch. Right now we're trading an area of value, which is roughly 32 down to 11. That's a distribution area. Price is distributed through that area. So I want to trade right around the top, back down, right around the bottom, back up, especially in slower markets. Let's see what we get on the bottom if it comes down, okay? Crude's headed toward the low of the day, which is 06, $30.06. And right now I have nothing, but these areas here are a great guide. Now, guys, I can tell you this. You're not going to get any of this on Gomi's order flow. He doesn't have any of this. The profile you can add to Gomi, it's our profile. It's the same volume profile, but it does not give you contracts traded at all. I don't need to see highlighted blue and yellows and reds in the profile. I want to see buyers to sellers. That tells the whole story to me. I will say this, for those of you guys that are in a position to buy one, I think it's the best $2,300 investment you'll make. Tom is standing behind me. Tom owns it, and Tom agrees. If you guys have to make do with something else, we will configure it as close as we can to this. Here's what I see right now. Buyers and sellers at 21, we have a positive delta of 77 candles. Very little going on. I'm looking to probably sell around 27 to 28 into this resistance. I'm looking to buy somewhere between 10, 11, 9, somewhere in through there. So I'm in the middle of a range. This notch may keep it here, though. We may not get above 24 unless we get some buying. This is a low volume area. You hear Sandy and I talk about notches all the time. Red and blue arrow. Red arrow is a down move. You can't really trade off it because it doesn't give it to you in advance. And the blue arrow is where there was a pivot and it turned down. You'll get green and blue on the bottom. So right now we're just chopping around in a very narrow range. This is kind of the point of control right here at 20. Buyers and sellers right in here at 20. It's highlighted in red. So right now we're at 18. We're below the point of control. Theoretically, there's a sell here at 18 with a stop at, my stop would be up here at 31. There would be a sell here, and if you wanted to get really daring, your stop would be one tick above at 23. See, it just came down a couple more ticks. What I want to see here is a move down to support, which is this bottom of value on this 5-minute chart, or a move up to the top of value on a 5-minute chart, and I'm looking for a sell. So we're coming in. We just capped here with 5 buyers at 15, so price is coming down. It's still in shorts. This black box right here is the commitment of traders. Now the commitment of traders is down here. We all know what happens to the traders that all think one thing, right? They get left behind. Uh-oh, price is rising. These guys got stuck at 14. I trade with both. I trade with the profile and this. I'm always looking at profile. That's why I have profile on everything except for the Unirenko, which Sandy and I use for range breaks. Okay, so here's what I've got here. An unfinished auction at 22. Price has to go to 22. We know it has to go up and cap this at some point. But my sell is still right around 27, 28. There's no long in here for me. There's no short yet. There's nothing. So price has to move higher for me to sell or lower for me to buy. I can't do anything in this area. We're probably not going to come down here past this ledge. But I'll sell it up here. Okay, we went and got this auction. It's capped. It's done. We're tick above it. That auction is done. It's capped out. But now we're unfinished here at 23. Still buying, 24, It's not going to go much above 27 or 28. I'd sell 27. Here we go, 24. This is what we do all day long. And once you guys can do this, sky's the limit. See, they're buying it in here. We've got green. Only 44 positive delta, though. So there's some sellers in here, too. That's why they're not really running it. Now they're selling 21, but they capped it at 20 on the last move down. 4 sellers. That's it. Now they're selling again 19. It's just treading around in this one area, guys. That's all we're doing. All right, let's see what we get here. 24, unfinished. It's got to bump up 27. So I'll sell 26. Let's see if we can get it to 26. What does the minus 12 mean? Delta. That means more. There were 12 contracts sold more than bought. If you look at previous candles in these auctions, the green, we had 717 more contracts bought than sold. Total volume in that particular 5 minutes was 5,429 candles. In this 5 minutes, 2,722 candles, of which 134 contracts more sellers than buyers. Here we've got 150, 2,200 contracts. You can see volume is dying. 1,997, now 1,185. We're still unfinished here. Traders, 20 is about the pivot, but we have to trade at extremes. We can't trade in the middle. That's death. The extreme right candle. I'm right here. Yeah, the green is buyers. You can see there's more buyers than sellers. You read it left to right. 136 to 154. Bid offer. You read left to right, right? It's not side to side. It's up and down. Left to right, right to left. Because you have a bid, you have an offer. We have more sellers here than buyers at 19, more sellers at 18, more sellers at 17, 16, and capped out here. They're still selling 16 though. We're unfinished up top. Ideally, this price will flush down a little bit lower. We just capped out at 20, at 14. I want it a little bit lower, guys, maybe around 10, 11, 12, and I'll take a long. There we go. Try to get 11. It should come to 11. There's 12. Bottom should be 10. It hit 11 exactly to 11. Didn't fill me. Didn't put me in at 11. Now, if it goes 2 or 3 ticks in this low volume, I'm not going to take the trade. I want to cancel it. I don't take second touches. You hear Sandy and I talk about that all the time. At 14, this trade is dead. This is support, though, right down around 10. Should not break 10 or that area. See, they're buying it. There would have been first target at 14, 15. Came exactly to 11. Look, 69 by 0, 11. No fill. It's pretty thin. I mean, we've traded 88 contracts. They're still buying it. Ideally now, this target is going to be 24. Let me see if this thing flushes one more time and puts me in maybe around 10 or 9. Okay, they're selling 13, buying 15, 29 buyers still. It's really thin. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so this is kind of what we expect. We tried to get along at 11, came exactly to our entry at 11 and did not fill. Now we capped out at 13, which seems to be about the bottom. All I care about is current day when I'm watching order flow. I don't care what happened yesterday, the day before, etc. Okay? Now, if I want to add an indicator to this, there's an indicator I can add, which is previous day, high, low, open, and close. I don't really care because I'm scalping. It doesn't matter to me what yesterday's open close was. You see, guys, our resistance is dropping. It's pressing price lower. Let's see what we get right down around 10. We still have to go get this, 24. They're still buying it, guys. We all know crude is going to flush at the close. We're coming down below 30. We're going to see 29's print. Here's the ES. ES is a sell. I sold the ES right here, right at resistance, left 5 buyers at 16.25. I probably should have been in at 16. So I'm a tick late on that, but there's first target. I would have had first target already. It just hit 15. Still selling quarter. I was a little late on this. Buying it. Come on, fill me. There you go, guys. Now break even. Okay, so there's a quick 75 bucks. Now they're selling 15. Let's go break even in 1. Break even in 2. My real stop should be at 16.75. Boy, I love it when we do an educational session and things work out the way they're supposed to. I've locked in another 50 bucks and 75. It's still selling it. Final target is 12.25. 12.25. 12.25. Final target. 14.25. 12.25. Final target. 7.5. Locked in 2 points, 8 ticks. It's 100 bucks locked. So it's a $175 trade plus 70 bucks on the crude. There you go, 240 bucks. That's how it works. Once you guys can understand this, it is so easy to trade. So that was a 13 tick trade on the ES. Whoop, here's our long now in crude. I missed it. 9. I missed it. See, it came down to support and bounced up here. On the left, regardless of what I'm trading, here's the ES. You can see every incremental price, 19.20 quarter, 19.20, 19.80, 19 half. For those of you guys that haven't been trading long, they do not say 75 or 3/4. It's 80. So if you hear me say we're going long at 18.80, it's 75 cents. They don't say 75, okay? In any event, you have your incremental price. Incremental price on the left. This blue area here tells me how many contracts have traded at what price. When I can isolate the dark blue areas, that tells me where the majority of contracts were traded in any given area. So here's where we're kind of stagnated, between 31 and 12. That's where we're stuck, that range, right? Scalpable, but that's about it. Then I have my profile. This is the same volume profile we trade. It's based exactly on the contracts that have traded. Green means buys, red is sells. This gives me a visual reference to, are they matched, are they not? For instance, at 30.43, 1,237 contracts traded. The red bar is longer than the green. I know there were more sellers than buyers here. That's my profile right here. This tells me how many contracts have traded at every single tick. Down on the bottom, I have delta, which is just an accumulation of buyers minus sellers. Gives me a number. More buyers than sellers, I get a positive delta, 233. More sellers than buyers, I get a negative delta, minus 237. You can see it in red and green, even if you can't read the numbers. You see red, I know there's more sellers than buyers. Green, more buyers than sellers. I then get volume per candle. This will tell me how many contracts have traded in the current candle. We are clearly declining sequentially from 1250, 1255, half the contracts. 1 o'clock, 800 less. A little bit more here, but 10 after, 2,000 contracts traded. And then I have cumulative volume for the day. We've traded 293,000 contracts on crude for the day. Whoop, we're at a sell on crude, guys. It came up there and didn't fill me at 26. It's at a sell zone. It's not going much higher than this. That's 2 no fills. If it filled me, there's another 90 bucks and going. I probably shouldn't be in the trade still, guys, because it's a second touch. It may go to as high as 30, maybe even 35. Capped out 12 buyers. Now they're buying 26. See it? You can see it. Now they're buying 29. Let me get my stop way out of the way here until I can figure out where it's supposed to be. I mean, we could theoretically come all the way up to 41, guys. 26 worked on the first trade. May not work now. That's why we take first touches. All right, so we've come up here now, and we capped out this auction here that was open at 32. Guys, let me address another issue too, okay? You guys, especially from the old room, have heard the 7-tick, 10-tick, 5-tick, 3-tick. Guys, that's a fallacy. Those are arbitrary numbers. You can hide behind a node, but you know what? There's no way to trade with 3 or 4-tick stops on a routine basis. It's almost impossible. Yeah, this will fill in when the candle closes. Right now, it's filled in here. So we came down to 26, which is where I should have closed the trade. 19 by 8. I'm still open at 26. It really has to come down to 25 to cap out. Price is moving higher into the sell zone. It's still in a sell. Okay, they're selling it here at 30. Now we're going into longs, guys. Now we're into longs. We're into longs now. I take a long here. Let me get out of this trade. I'll take 2 ticks. It won't fill me at 2 ticks. We're into longs. Stop is break even. All right, I got my target, but we're in longs. See the green came up? I'm waiting for it to cap. Trying to buy. All right, it filled me at 23. I'm into longs. I capped out at 80. Guys, I can do this all day in my own account. I could trade this all day like this. I can't do it in the room. They're buying 24. We need to break 25. Selling again here at 23. Capped out with 10. I'll take 2 ticks on the whole thing. I pay $15. I'll take 60 bucks. It's too slow to be in it. This is what I'm watching, guys. Come on. You're not going to give me 2? Really? They're buying it still here, guys. They're buying. There's 20 buyers here. There it goes. Look at that. It took 2 contracts. Didn't take all 3. You don't think we're thin? But we're still open at 25. it needs to go to 25 or 6 to finish out the auction. So I made 40 bucks. I got 19 as my stop. It'd be a break-even trade. Now it capped out again, buying 22. Guys, we're slow as heck. If it takes me out, it's a $40 trade minus 15. I keep 25 bucks. That's a win. Won't even take me out. All right, I'm out. I made 40 bucks. I can scalp this all day long just understanding the numbers and the areas of the profile and what I'm looking at with Delta. So we've done 4 trades, all 4 winners, and we've made over 250 bucks in 12 minutes. It's trying to go long again from here. I don't like it, though. It's moving down lower. I'd take another long around 07. That'd be a good long. They're going to hold that low until after 2 o'clock. I strongly say, if you guys can afford this indicator, this order flow, it's the nicest one I've ever used. I got 5 buyers right here. It's not going anywhere. 7 buyers. Now they're hitting the bid at 20, but we're capped here. We've got to break 16 to come down lower. 17. 16 would be your sell if you want to try to scalp below the candle. It's a 5-minute swing. I wouldn't be interested in that, not this time of day. So I'm trading within the candles, guys. Basic support and resistance. This is telling me where it is, and it's giving me buy and sell zones along with profile. Right now we're stuck in this area of distribution. That's all we're doing. Our cost is $2,300. She sells it for $29.95. 24 is your sell. It's not even going to get there. See the red bar? It's at 25, 26. Your sell's 24, 25. We're building into a wedge. We're going to come down. We're coming down to 7, 8, 9, and we'll go scalp it again. All right, there's basic order flow. We'll see if we can get one more trade out of this thing. I'm looking to sell 24 on this. It should get to 23, 24. I'll sell 24 if it gets up there. I'm unfinished right here at 22. Once again, the only thing I don't like about this particular indicator, I would prefer the delta on top of the candle. It's easier reference. Other than that, that's the only complaint I have, which is a minor complaint. We're building into a wedge here, guys. My sense is that it's going to flush lower and then bounce. We have no unfinished auctions. We still have one up here at 49, but the likelihood of it going up and getting this, certainly at 122, is slim to slim left town. They're basically hitting 20. They're right at your commitment of traders at 20. It's lowered from 23. The black box here, guys, 23, lowered from 25. As they lower the commitment of traders, meaning guys are selling, they'll turn around and zip it right back up on them, and they'll stick the shorts. This is what Sandy and I do all day long, whether it's with bonds, whether it's with the ES, whatever the case is. I'm looking at the charts. I'm also watching order flow because there are other people out there that teach profile. Those names shall remain nameless, but they don't teach order flow. How many times have you gotten into a trade on the profile and been steamrolled? Like the bond trade today. I took a 1-tick loss, but it was better than a 10-tick loss because I can see it. It didn't hold the hourly chart, and I'm watching buyers come in on order flow. So I take a $90 loss. Big deal. Better than a $900 loss. This tells the whole story. Now, we got 105 by 13. I'm unfinished on the bottom at 18 down here and unfinished on the top. This is part of thin volume trading, guys. This is basic order flow. We're going to work on this over and over and over and over and over. We are going to drum this in because order flow is the key. Profile is great. Profile will work most of the time. Order flow works all of the time. Now, if it caps out, see, I still think we're going to flush down to support between 9 and 8, 7, somewhere in there. If we could pop back up here to around 24, 25, now they're selling 16. Guys, the previous candle traded 1,000 contracts. I mean, we've run out of volume. So we definitely want to be long or short from extremes. All right, so see, now it's flushing down. Let's get it down around 7 or 8, guys, and I'm looking for a long. Okay, we'll see if we can get one more trade just to show you guys. ES is in sells. ES is in shorts, guys. Let me go to ES. I missed it. I missed it on order flow because it's next to me. We'll stick with the crude. We capped out at 12. We still have to come lower to go long. I can't take it here, guys. We're just chopping here, fellas. Sandy can answer questions as well as I can. We trade very similar, guys. Very similar. Order flow is the key. I don't care what anybody tells you, but you have to trade it with the profile. You can't just trade numbers. I know guys that have tried to scalp just off and I'm a pretty good scalper. You cannot scalp just off of what's going on in one bar. If you cannot afford an order flow indicator or this one or whatever the case may be, if you cannot afford it, get the GOMI ladder and we'll configure it as closely as we can. We're not going to be able to put certain things in, but you will start to understand order flow. If you're part of another room, offers the GOMI ladder, get it. If not, join Big Mike's Trading, whatever it is. Join for $100, guys. It's a $100 donation, and go get an order flow. You can get the GOMI ladder off of that. And Sandy and I can help you set it up, not with the same bells and whistles, but you'll start to read numbers. That's what I care about. See, now we're lowering. Again, you saw this bar just form at 25. Your entry is going to be somewhere between 23 and 24 on a short. I like it because it's right at the notch, guys. It's right at this rejection area, right here in the notch. So if we can get up to 23, I'll sell 23. But we are dead nuts solid stuck. Now we have a negative, look, we have a negative 300 delta and price isn't moving lower. What does that say? Somebody's absorbing all of those sellers. Somebody's trying to press it lower. Somebody's buying them all. It really should get to at least 22 to cap this auction here. 300 bids. It was 500 at 10. You know what that says to me? We're in shorts now. Having read order flow for so many years, somebody's accumulating contracts up here, and guess what they're going to do? Dush. They're going to dump it later. They're just buying everything they can up here to sell it lower. That's as fake a bid as I've ever seen. Look at that. 900 on the bid at 15. That is phony baloney. They're just driving the price up to buy contracts. That's all they're doing. That's fine. I'm still selling 23 or 4. I'll sell 23. Listen, if they can take it and stop me out, let them. I don't think they can. Now there's 1,400 guys on the bid at 15. Does anybody here really think that's true? Watch them disappear. Guys, I'm trying to get one more trade in here just to show you before we call it a day. Come on. We're unfinished here, 5 by 66. We've at least got to get to 22. I want to go get that auction at 22, this one here. So one tick higher if it caps, great. It's finished. 0 by 4, they're buying. They're still buying 22. Selling 21, buying 22. I'm not coming off my offer. I'll sell it at 23, guys. I may miss a trade. It could go up to 24 or 5. Here it is. It's bidding up. Oh, look at that. Came exactly to 23 and got no fill. There's my 23. Now they're selling 22. I'm not coming off my offer. Now they're selling 21. Unfinished at 21. 64. Now it's capped out at 20. So if we could have gotten our 23, we'd have made another quick, $90. See, here they are, Mike. See that phony baloney? 14.75. Look, that was a nice trade if we got it filled, guys. There's 120 bucks. That's as phony. Listen, that 1,400 bid at 15 is as phony as Anna Nicole Smith. It's fake. They're pressing this price up just to buy contracts. You mark my words, we close below 15, or we come below 15 and they'll start selling. All right, guys, I'm going to end the webinar. I will see you guys all tomorrow. This is what we're trading here. This is the Unirenko that we're scalping, and we're going to get into that as well, guys. But we need to understand profile and order flow first. I hope you guys all learned something, even if you learned one thing. If you don't understand it, don't worry about it, guys. We're going to do this day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. If anybody has questions, email Sandy, email me. We can answer the questions, and I guarantee you they will be answered the same way. Sandy and I trade in perfect harmony together. We trade the same way. All right, have a great evening. Enjoy your family. You should all be profitable today. Walk away from these screens. Day is done. Right now, we're really dying on the volume. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Talk to you guys soon.